Let me tell you something. When a mama says something don't feel right, you better listen. Renia's mama knew. She knew the second her daughter stopped answering the phone. The silence wasn't normal. The stillness felt wrong. And when she checked that Life 360 app, she didn't just see a pin on the map, she saw a nightmare waiting at that address. Renia Lewis was 28 years old, right on the edge of her 29th birthday. She wasn't just working hard, she was living her life. A brand ambassador, always on the move, traveling for work, calling home, laughing with friends. People said her energy filled a room. She was that friend who made sure everybody ate, that daughter who checked in, that cousin who always remembered your birthday. So when her phone went quiet on that Friday night, the people who loved her didn't waste time. Her mom tried calling, texting, nothing. Family chat lit up. Cousins started pinging her location. Because let's be real, when somebody like Renia goes silent, that's not a wait and see, that's a get in the car right now. They drove through Vallejo that night, pulling up to places they didn't recognize. Her location pointed to an address on 14th Street, an unfamiliar house. No answer when they called her name, just that still air that makes your stomach twist. And then things got weird. Her mom started getting messages from Renia's number, but they didn't sound like her. Short, offbeat, strange requests. Even a Cash App text asking for money to fix a phone. Like, come on now. That wasn't Renia. Make it make sense. The family kept pushing. They weren't waiting around for anyone to tell them what they already knew. Something was wrong. They called the police for a welfare check. Officers showed up, looked through the place, said they didn't see anything. No signs of struggle, no Renia. But you know how mothers are. When the world says, we checked, a mother says, check again. And that's exactly what happened next. The family doubled down, driving street to street, calling motels, knocking on doors, even climbing rooftops near that school by the house. That's where they found it, Renia's phone, lying right there on the roof. Her mother looked at it and knew in her bones this wasn't going to end easy. Because you don't find your child's phone on top of a school unless somebody wants it out of sight. And that's when hope started to fight with fear. The California Highway Patrol launched an ebony alert. The FBI stepped in to help with phone pings and data. While the system moved at its pace, the family kept searching like their lives depended on it, because in a way they did. They handed out flyers. They showed up at that same property again and again, asking questions, watching windows, waiting on answers. And soon detectives decided to go back too. This time, not just for a welfare check, this time with a warrant. When detectives came back to that house on 14th Street, they weren't playing around this time. They had a full search warrant in backup. They started digging through every inch walls, ceilings, the detached unit out back. And that's when one of the officers noticed something off in attic space, half hidden, covered like somebody didn't want it found. Behind that wall, inside that tight, sealed off space, they made the discovery nobody was ready for. The remains were there. The remains of 28-year-old Renia Lewis. And just like that, every prayer her family had been whispering turned into heartbreak.
In a wall? When he said, we found your daughter, I just collapsed. I was like, I can't believe this. And I was praying. I said, God, please don't let it be her. Please don't let it be her. And he did not answer my prayer.
When they found her body behind the wall. They nailed her body behind the wall.
Detectives say 41-year-old Douglas Irwin Shaw, a Vallejo resident, was arrested just hours after the discovery. They found him at his job, took him in quietly. In police interviews, officials said Shaw admitted he was responsible. He told detectives he killed her. He was booked into Solano County Jail on suspicion of murder, held without bail. Neighbors described the yard and that outbuilding where Renia was found as cluttered piles of stuff, things stacked so high it could hide anything. Police said the concealed attic space wasn't even visible during the first search. And it's wild, right? Because her family had been circling that same property, using her phone's location, finding clues, begging the police to go deeper. Let me tell you something. Without that family's persistence, this story might still be unsolved. The California Highway Patrol had already triggered the Ebony Alert, and the FBI was helping with the tech side, pings, data, digital leads. They all came together finally, but the real engine behind this case, it was her family. They never stopped moving. They said, we'll find her, and they did. Outside that home, candles and flowers started piling up. Friends, cousins, co-workers, all showing up to pay respect. You could feel the grief in the air. She was days away from her 29th birthday. Her mama said she loved to cook. she loved her family. That's the kind of line that cuts deep, because it's not about crime, it's about love interrupted. And now the man who allegedly took that away was sitting in a cell, facing a murder charge. But what hurt most wasn't just what he did, it was how it happened and where. When Douglas Shaw made his first court appearance, people in that room said he looked disheveled, quiet, like he barely understood the pain he'd caused. But the family, Renia's family, they understood it all too well. Her mama sat there holding back tears, clutching onto her own hands just to stay upright. That's the kind of grief you can't describe. It's not just sadness, it's shock, anger, disbelief, all at once. Prosecutors charged Shaw with 1 count of felony murder. They said he used a knife in the killing. And when you hear that, you just pause. Because it's not just violence, it's betrayal. Nobody really knows what connected the two. Some reports said they might have met recently. Others said they barely knew each other. Either way, whatever conversation they had, whatever moment it turned, it ended with Renia losing her life. And here's the part that still haunts people. Police told her mother that Renia's body had been dismembered and hidden inside that attic wall.
What did she do to you for you to kill her and then put her in a wall? When he said, "We found your daughter," I just collapsed. I was like, I can't believe this. And I was praying. I said, God, please don't let it be her. Please don't let it be her. And he did not answer my prayer.
They found her body behind the wall. They nailed her body behind the wall.
Neighbors in Vallejo watched the memorial grow, candles flickering, stuffed bears, flowers leaning against that wall of yellow tape. For them, it wasn't just another headline, it was a reminder of how quickly love can turn into loss. And even through their pain, the family stood tall. They wanted Renia's story to be told, not for views, not for drama, but for awareness. Because the truth is, too many women, especially Black women, go missing, and too often their stories don't get told until it's too late. The Vallejo Police Department said this was one of the hardest cases they've handled. They thanked the family, the community, the FBI, all the hands that helped uncover the truth. But let's be real, without that family's persistence, without that mother who refused to give up, there might never have been justice. And that's why this story matters. Renia Lewis wasn't just another case number. She was loved. She was vibrant. She had a whole life ahead of her. She should have been celebrating her birthday, not being remembered on one. So as we close this chapter, let's not just grieve. Let's stay alert. Let's check on our people. Let's believe our instincts. Because sometimes that gut feeling, that mother's intuition, that sense that something's off, that's the only thing standing between a tragedy and a miracle. Rest in peace, Renia. You were seen, you were loved, and your story will never be forgotten. Thank you for watching Crime in Cold Light. This story right here, it's more than just a headline. It's a reminder of how fragile life can be and how far love will go to find the truth. If this story moved you, take a moment to share it. Keep Renia's name alive, because awareness saves lives, and silence only protects the wrong people. And if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. We tell these stories because they matter, because every victim deserves to be remembered in full light, not just in tragedy. Until next time, take care of yourself and your people.